Here we are.
Wait. So, in case you didn't know, this is Anthony William, medical medium. Have you not bought these books? Like, these books. And if you haven't, you have to. These are Bible, like Holy Bible. And I'm so grateful to be here today to talk with Anthony about something that I'm very passionate about. So, Anthony, will you start?
Yeah,
this is your life.
This is Jelena Djokovic, an amazing person, amazing individual. She's doing incredible things out there in health. She's doing all kinds of things in wellness. And it's an honor to have her here because she knows medical medium information. She sees the people out there healing. She sees you guys out there healing. She knows your struggles. She knows what you guys are doing. She's got her eyes on that. It's important. A lot of people don't see that out there. They don't see the struggles and the suffering, and they don't understand it. Jelena sees it all. That's why I love her. We're dear friends. I have her here. This is the greatest day right now. I can't even tell you. So we're here, and she did a good introduction of me. That's incredible.
I'm like, let's change it around. You always see the Anthony William, what is it?
Exactly.
What is it?
The William, medical medium. Here I am. And she's going, let's change this around a little bit.
Yeah, let's surprise the people.
This is amazing. She's, Jelena's doing a lot of incredible things out there. She's got the foundation. I wanted to ask you about that for a second.
Sure.
Novak Djokovic Foundation, which is really powerful. It's about children. It's a 0 to 6 program where you're focused on ages 0 to 6 and making sure they're eating better ways of living, right?
So I'm the CEO of the Novak Djokovic Foundation, which is working for the early childhood education programs, meaning we are opening kindergartens and educating teachers and parents and working with children too, making sure they have a better start in life. And that's how we are impacting the future.
Incredible.
And all the knowledge we gain through all the resources we have, because I'm married to the best tennis player in the world, Novak Djokovic, and we use our friends and connections to make sure we bring all the best knowledge to all the parents and share with them.
Incredible.
And then we came across Anthony, and it was such a random moment for me. I was on a wedding weekend with friends, and there was this girl reading this book, the first book. And I'm like, who is bringing this, chest scan, on the wedding weekend? Like, people are usually, reading novels.
Who's bringing an X-ray on a wedding? Yeah, exactly.
And she was really reading like properly. And then I was like, what are you reading? And she goes like, Jelena, you won't believe it. This is gonna change your life. And here it is. It changed my life, honestly. I am so grateful for everything you do on all the channels you do, because you are really working your butt off to reach every single person out there.
Well, there's so many people struggling out there. I mean, it's like a war zone out there. People don't realize that. And I say, what am I, living in a bubble and nobody's sick out there? So science and research fixed everything. So science and research must have everything fixed. No one's sick out there. But that's not true. I mean, just in America alone, over 250 million citizens, American citizens, 250 million alone are suffering here. It's incredible.
And we
so
are
many
all
others.
trying
It's
to
just
find
crazy.
the solutions. And honestly, I was never ill before I came to this knowledge. For me, all the motivation comes as how I can be the healthiest. What is the healthiest we can be?
Yeah.
And then you talk about that, and you talk about us as people rather than patients, and all these symptoms we have, because I have plenty of symptoms that I never qualify them as a start of something.
Because we're supposed to think it's normal.
Yeah,
that's what I tell you guys out there all the time, right?
But how many times I asked you about it, like, can you tell me what is the healthiest I can feel today in this society with all the toxins that are happening around us, we're breathing in and eating, and what is the healthiest we can be?
It's a lot more, the funny thing is, it's a lot more toxic now than it ever was. When you think about the cities in the old days, you ever hear like stories of you got to move out of the city to get to the country to
Just
get to fresh air?
Just a few days ago, there was this guy right there on the left side saying to me, you gotta stay out of LA for now. There is this wildfire.
Yeah, the wildfires.
Yeah,
that's right.
And there's so many people who didn't go out of LA, had to stay and breathe in all the toxins. And so how do they feel now?
Well, it's the wildfires and then the fire retardant that's sprayed and then all the dust and all the ashes, and so we're always up against something, whether it's that or anything else. That's just added extra stuff that no one needs.
So is it a solution to move to countryside?
Well, you know what it is though? It's like the cities used to be like, they always say the cities are really dirty, the cities are dirty, and go to the country, and that was many years ago, and I've never told you guys about this, but talked about this, but now the cities are worse than they've ever been, and the country's also not good either, where we're always exposed to something. Basically, everybody's exposed in every place. It doesn't matter where it is. It could be a country, the city, it could be anywhere. And so we have to take care of ourselves. We have to learn to take care of ourselves. That's the whole point. It's not that we're supposed to run and hide. It's not that we're supposed to, meaning never get ever affected or intoxicated by anything. It's not that. It's just that we need to take care of ourselves. We need to do things. And the medical medium information is what I always spread out there, and say, look, you got to take care of your liver because it collects it all. That's why you like the liver book, probably, because that's the big.
Yeah, that's the book. That's, for me, the book that I carry around a lot, even though it's the heaviest one, and it's this one, and luckily it's also translated in Serbian, so when I speak with my friends and family, I also make sure I refer them to the book. And trust me, you are big, because if it's translated in Serbian, I mean, that's your ultimate goal. I mean, you want to reach those kind of people because they are open to knowledge. I mean, I'm saying hello to everybody from Serbia. Dobar dan ili dobro večer, pošto je sada kasno. And I'm just telling them, go guys, buy the books. I'm also speaking about it also on all my channels, because for me, this is the knowledge I apply to my children's lives and my life, and also my husband is using lots of that kind of knowledge, and I mean it's a holy grail. If you want to feel energized and youthful through life, because we don't feel that way, and that's what healthy means.
Yeah.
That's what.
Well, we walk around with symptoms. We think it's normal. It's a new norm. New norm to have endometriosis, new norm to have PCOS, fibroids, new norm to have all these issues, diabetes, new norm to actually have high A1C, high blood sugar, hypoglycemia, thyroid problems. So we walk around, we all have hypothyroid, right? And we walk around with it, and it's the new normal. We're just supposed to accept it. And then we're supposed to believe science and research has all the answers for some reason. So we're supposed to believe in all the studies and all the science that's thrown around, and the vegans have all the answers, and then the paleos have all the answers, and the animal protein, high protein, low protein, high fat.
And here's the alert. Vegans are not healthy. It's like, it doesn't work that way. Being labeled as vegan also brings out different kinds of food that we eat that are not the healthiest option for us. Say fried French fries. That's vegan food, but is it the best one for you?
A lot of vegans don't eat good.
No.
That's what you mean, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, totally.
And this is what's going to happen, because there is a huge vegan trend that is actually sending us off the rails, because we're going to get even sicker because we're eating lab food as well, because, those burgers out there, or sausages, or cheeses.
Oh, you mean that the fake sausages, the fake meats,
exactly.
the fake, oh my God, all those? Absolutely.
I've tried them. They do taste well, but they feel bad after. Like, my body does not let me do those things. Like, it just alerts me straight on. And I am skinny, but that's how I feel good. It's not about looking good. It's about feeling good. And this is what people don't know what it is.
Well, if a person who's doing the vegan food, right, and they're eating all of these fun vegan foods all the time, and they get their first symptoms, or they get symptoms, they think it's because they're plant-based. So then they leave the plant-based world, they leave the veganism world, and they head to eating animal proteins again, because their doctor might say, it's because you don't have proteins. It's because you're not getting your proteins, not getting enough proteins. But maybe they weren't eating as good as they could have when they were eating plant-based. And I say that to people who are paleo too, or people who are doing a healthy keto. Maybe it could be even better, because that's the thing. We could be doing a better job in all of our diets. That's what I try to do, right? I try to get the information out there. So it's like, hey, if you want to be plant-based, you got to do it this way. Make sure you get this in you, and you got to stay strong on this. We got our celery juices, by the way. We have to have that right here.
I'm not having any more. I had 2 of these before the live started. It's enough. I need to keep the pretty face, otherwise we'll be like taking them back.
It's a lot of celery juice, and
yeah.
But so and yeah, it's no matter what diet we subscribe to or belief system we get sucked into, there's information out there that, there's information about what's really causing our illnesses that I'm trying to spread out there, and you're trying to spread that information out there because you're doing that. You're telling everybody about this information. And so that when you're plant-based or vegan, you don't get scared when you're having a symptom and you're thinking it's because of lack of protein, or it's because I'm vegan, or because I'm not doing something right. Because
it's always the chase for protein that is the problem.
The chase for protein.
Yeah, and
that's
fats.
brilliant. That's brilliant.
Well, I texted you a few weeks ago telling you that a friend of mine, a close friend of mine, was having some mystery weight issues, and it wasn't it actually, the doctor said to her to kick out all the fruits and all the veggies and just go for the meat and the fat, because that's gonna be like her healing.
Okay, so just go totally no carb, no fruit.
Yeah, because that's sugar. Because it's qualified as sugar, and sugar is making her sick. And I lost it. I was like, just let's keep the book out. Let's start reading, and then let's see. And the thing is, how do you go against the doctor? Like doctors are advising us certain things. Of course, first of all, when you see the doctor today, are they actually looking as we would want to look, as healthy? So then they also can't, because of course for them, it's like they're constantly seeing sick people and trying to help them. Do they have time to keep up with all the knowledge that is out there? Yeah. I'm so excited that you partner with doctors and you make sure that they also get the access to that, because it's so important. They are the ones people come to when they see people in the white coats. They are like, okay, this is the person that will save me. And it's true, they're gonna save us, but in some really, dangerous situations like broken arms and, car accidents or things like that are serious. But then for this everyday illnesses that we carry on through life, this is what we need this information for, because we're fueling our body with the wrong fuel. Yeah. And I'm so happy what you've mentioned in so many of your books, is that being repetitive with food is not bad for us.
No.
Everybody speaks about variety, changing it up, spicing it up, right? But
they need the variety.
What do you say about that?
Look, it's okay if you're doing where you're not doing variety, where you just do something that works. That's another thing too. I know that a lot of us want variety, and I totally respect that and honor that, right? And I think people get bored fast, and they get pressured. They get pressured by people around them, might be family, might be friends. And are you eating those potatoes again? Those steamed potatoes again? Are you eating that salad again?
And by the way, my son loves it. I think I'm saying hello to all the moms out there, because I'm sure that your kids love potatoes. And I am, my son also eats them for breakfast. Like, he just likes them, and that's incredible. Okay, he eats a lot of fruits, and then he will just go at 11 o'clock for potatoes. And I'm not going to stop him, because I know now, because I've read the
Life-Changing Foods book. This is the best.
No, but it's true. I've been I mean, this is something that is so precious to me.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't, like, I love the fact that when you speak about the food, you're not only giving this nutritional fact, you're actually giving the soul feeding facts.
Yeah.
That every food we eat is feeding our soul too, with information that is so crucial. That's why I connect with you, because you speak to my soul.
Well, the wild blueberries, those are powerful for the soul. I talk about that in the book too. They're really powerful, really healing. And that's incredible.
And that's good for the heavy metal detox, which is for me the most powerful thing I'm using from all the recommendations. You're like the mornings, the liver rescue morning are, it's kind of an intermittent fasting, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. What's funny about the heavy metals is people, they don't think they have metals in them. They don't think they have metals in them. They don't think they have mercury in them. They don't think they have aluminum in them. You guys probably hear it all the time, because so many of you talk about the metals out there: arsenic, lead, cadmium, nickel, and copper. But if you have eczema, if you have psoriasis, you have copper. Copper's inside the liver. If you have twitches, spasms, brain fog, tingles, numbness, you've got mercury. Mercury's in there. You might be viral too. I talk about that all the time, but you got mercury in there. So if you got all of that, the brain fog, if you have sleeping problems, mercury can be behind that too. It could be behind so much confusion, the way, if we feel like we're confused, if we feel like we're not getting our information across, or we can't see, we can't talk so clearly, or we can't think, or we're getting the brain fog in the way.
Are you using aluminum foil in your home, like, to cover up your foods? Because that was something that I've just a few months ago discovered when we were our chef that was cooking for us at that time was wrapping the food in the aluminum foil, which was warm to keep it warm. And I had the massive food poisoning without even understanding why it was and then when I realized that it was the aluminum that was and we use it every single day. I grew up around like my I don't know, my cousins were working in a factory that was doing that, we had
making that metal.
Yeah, exactly. And so all of us are getting sick from all the everyday use of shampoos and lotions and perfumes and all different kinds of things. What I've blows my mind is the idea of going to the shop and buying your new clothes and putting them on, and you are also poisoning your body with that because somebody has used a mold spray or something on it.
Yeah, they use the fungicide. All our new clothes that we get, when we go out and buy new clothes, they spray it with fungicide. They don't give you the choice. There's no town hall meeting. There's no choices there. We're not given that. They just coat everything with fungicide. Fungicide is so toxic. It goes to the brain. It's filled with metals. And so that's what we live in all of this stuff every day. So sure, I mean, we're battling, the diet people are all fighting each other. You got like the keto people are all mad at the people who do a potato, and you got the people, the vegans are mad at the meat eater people, and you got everybody's throwing all this science at each other, all these studies, all this what I call fake science, but nobody knows the cause of illnesses. Nobody knows that when they buy new clothes, it's loaded with fungicide. Nobody knows that they're supposed to lower their fats because they're taking out their oxygen, because their oxygen is getting less and less of the body to fight disease. So they're eating all these high fats and all these diets. Nobody knows any of this information. So then everybody stays sick. They're all getting sick. So you might be vegan for a little while. You might be keto for a little while. You might be paleo for a little while. You might be doing some diet.
And you're feeling good for a while, and then you go back to the to the bed. And
5 years later, you might be on YouTube. You're doing YouTubes 4 years ago, and you can follow the progression. And 4 years later, you're like,
why
this
is it
isn't
that our
working
body
anymore.
gets better from it and then gets worse? Like, I don't understand it. Like, so many times you do something that is so good for you and you feel good and you commit to it, but then I guess you have to take into consideration that your body's changing.
Well, there's a couple of things too. When we usually jump into something, we're usually eating worse before that.
Okay.
So for instance, like if you go to a healthy keto diet, after being, eating whatever or more, you're eating more fast food, or you're eating
I have no clue what
processed
keto
food.
diet is.
Keto diet is the new kind of high protein diet, but everybody gets mad if I say high protein because it's high fat, and that's the whole thing. But it's really a lot of fat. But the high protein diet is a lot of fat. They're both filled with a lot of fat.
But vegan diet is also high fat.
It's high fat now too. That's why there's keto vegan now.
Oh.
But the keto diet is the high fat diet.
I'm not keeping up with all this.
The keto diet is the high fat diet that's still high protein. But then you got the high protein diet that's still high fat. And then you got the vegan diets that are still high fat.
And in
now.
all of this, the liver is suffering.
The liver's suffering. So you do the keto diet, high fat, your liver's suffering. You do high protein diet, high fat, your liver's suffering. You can package it, name it anything you want, but they all end up high fat diets. They kill the liver gets killed, knocked down. But people get better at first because they're staying away from their chocolate cake. They're staying away from their waffles. They're staying away from their
But there got to be a
something or
way
another.
to enjoy things. Like, I mean, you get stressed from all this information. Like now knowing that everything you do, everything you use, it becomes so toxic for you. So now there is a moment of panic, right? Everybody's like, oh my God, but if this is this, how do I actually live this life? And who do I trust? And I mean, so often people say, but in this organic section, there is like not nice looking fruit or veggie, and it all looks very, it's not appealing to people. And so they give up before even they started because it's just not as yummy looking as that strawberry that is like this big, or and so you are stuck with this fear, because now all of a sudden knowing what's causing your illness is that you're creating fear in you. And you are providing us with this information and giving us alternatives. I love the idea of knowing that I can have apple and fruit in 300 ways,
Well, people are afraid of fruit. There's fruit fear out there. Big fruit fear out there. And
big lie. I'm eating all my life fruit more than anything else. Honestly, it has given me life. Everything else I've been doing, maybe not as much.
Well, what happens is the fruit fear is a funny thing, because if someone gets sick, they don't blame the egg that fed every virus and pathogen and bacteria that causes their problems. And they don't blame the egg. but they'll blame the piece of fruit they have. No one really ate fruit, so why is everybody sick? No one eats enough fruit for anyone to even determine fruit's the reason why they're sick. It's not even possible.
But
because
wait, if you are
who's
taking
eating
only
that
white
much fruit?
eggs, if you eat egg whites,
Oh,
right?
egg whites, yeah.
Isn't that better? Isn't that healthier?
I wish it was, but it'll still feed every bug in our body. So the cause of illness are pathogens and toxins. So you got the viruses and bacteria, that's your pathogens, and then you got the toxins, and everybody has them in them, and it's like Russian roulette. It's like a gamble. Who's going to get sick first? Who's going to get knocked down and have the pathogen take over and give them aches and pains and fatigue and all kinds of problems? And or what toxins are people going to get intoxicated with? Like what metals and what different kinds of poisons? Like the all the different fungicide on clothes and the petrochemicals out there floating in the air and the mercury that's falling out of the sky. So we get both the toxins and we get both the pathogens, and then they join together. The pathogens eat the poisons, and then we get sick, and then everybody blames the strawberry. Everybody's going to blame the strawberry, a food that will actually help you get better. Everybody's going to blame it. They're going to
blame. So would you suggest, like, for people who want to change their life, because it's all about working out as well now, thinking people want to lose weight or people want to feel better.
I've been doing this for 35 years, maybe more than 35 years now, and I've seen guys that are like in top shape die of heart attacks. Just boom, that's it. 38 years old, they're in the gym,
and
they got their abs, got their abs. I know a lot of athletes. I've helped a lot of athletes professionally over the decades. And you get one injury that won't heal, or you get something, and you get a heart attack or something happens. But there's ways to heal things. There are ways to avoid that. There's a way to heal injuries. The way that the body can heal, but you got to give it what it needs. You got to give it what it needs.
How do we know what our body needs for a particular thing? Like, say you are feel like I love the idea. I keep on speaking about it, but honestly, for me, your books are really important guide. So for instance, when we have an injury, when we, for instance, injured our knee, and that's an injury that's going to heal at some point, right? With all the different things we're doing and the therapy and stuff. And then after a while, it's going to come back again, and it flares up when we are eating inflammatory foods.
Yeah.
So that's the weak point for now, forever in our body, and that's where the viruses and bacteria are collecting and nesting there.
When we injure ourselves and we have a pathogen in us, we have, say, like a virus in us, Epstein-Barr, we injure ourselves, the virus can go to that injury. That's why there's so many people. There's people who get knee surgeries and they get up and they walk out. They're fine right after the knee surgery. They're literally, I talk to doctors all the time about this. They just get up, they walk, same person, then this other person gets the same exact surgery, same exact knee problem to the T. Everything should be fine. They should be up and walking right out. And then they're swollen for weeks and weeks and months, and now on steroids and swollen, and they can't walk good, and they need long-term physical therapy, and it goes on a year of a knee problem because they had a low-grade viral infection in their system.
But are you suggesting for them, like, I know, for instance, my dad, when he had this knee injury that kept coming back, they were suggesting him to use the collagen. Is that a good thing or not really?
Well, you can't build up your collagen by eating collagen.
You can't.
No, you can't fix your kidney by eating a kidney. You can't fix your eye by eating an eye. You can't you can't fix your liver by eating a liver, and you can't fix your skin by eating skin.
Daddy, are you listening? Are you listening?
Collagen.
Because he was feeling better after that. He swears to God about it. Like, I feel like people generally attach themselves to the solutions that are not really solutions.
You need phytochemical compounds that are, like, for example, in celery juice, to create collagen. Collagen's created by our body. It's created through phytochemical compounds, mineral salts, and other things like that. And that's what creates collagen. Lots of antioxidants from, like, blueberries, you can't eat something to create something. That's 1,000 years ago. That was the Dark Ages.
Wait, but there is an exception with the C vitamin, because we have to drink C vitamin or
those are minerals and vitamins and nutrients. That's what we use to create things. So we use vitamin C to create our immune system. We use minerals to create tissue and cells. We use all of this creates, but you can't you can't take something like collagen that's actually in our skin, but you can't take a collagen source, another source of collagen, whatever that might be, consume it and think it's going to go to the skin. All it's going to do is go into your stomach and then out your intestinal tract, and you go to bathroom and it goes out. And that's where it goes. It can't find its way to your skin. It's like eating a sheep's eyeball to try to fix your eyeball or something. It's like eating... It's, it's like eating kidneys. It's people eat kidney. They eat kidney pie, but
that's what the kids were eating in my country. We were growing up. Was it liver or kidney? Something
liver. And kidney,
yeah. We were eating those things. Not good.
And there's supplements out there with actual that I don't know if they're still out there now. I haven't been looking at these varieties of supplements, but supplements out there with brain in it, with brain. So in order to fix your brain. And so you're going to eat brain supplements to fix your brain. It doesn't work like that. See, but for some reason, we get tricked by propaganda, by money, by investments, and those investments go into collagen. It's such an easy sell. Like, wait a minute, my skin will get better? Collagen? Let me tell you something. When you have the worst eczema ever, you can gobble all the collagen shakes you want, and you can take all the collagen pills you want, and you can buy into it and spend thousands of dollars on collagen every other month. And your skin will even not only stay the same, it'll get worse. I love
how he gets so excited about these things.
But
it's like we need people like you to speak to all of us because we want to live a good life, but it's just...
Well, you know what it is? I'm not afraid of whose feelings I'm going to hurt in the industries, and that's what happens. See, everybody else, they're afraid. Don't hurt that guy. Don't hurt that guy. And really, you got to protect the people who struggle and suffer. And it doesn't matter if anybody's gonna want to roast me like they do all the time. That's what happens. We all know that. I get hit more than anybody else in the industry because you can't make money off of celery juice. So I'm a threat. See, this is actually healing people. So it threatens the industries because they can't bankroll off of this. This is rogue right here.
But you know what?
This is rogue. So
maybe that's true, but there's also another side is that a lot of people are creating business from the knowledge you are providing out there.
Sure.
So there is a lot of balance out there. You can find in juice bars now the celery juice, just not HPP one. Maybe just go with the fresh one.
But not a lot of money's made from that. But the bigger industries, like the collagen industry, millions and hundreds of millions of dollars now. It's a good trick. It's a great trick because it's an easy trick. I've been using
the good supplements that you were recommending, and I really think that's helpful.
It's important. You want your skin, you want to build skin tissue, you want to get your skin nice and healthy. You got to get the celery juice, you got to get the metals out of your skin because that's what it is. The metals out in our liver and get the toxins out of our liver and everything.
Well, with all the knowledge he provides out there, you really don't have to think anymore what to eat throughout the day because when you think about, compiling everything, say the lemon water in the morning and the celery juice, and then after that you drink some smoothies, fruit smoothies, and then go for the heavy metal detox and eat some salad and the baked potatoes, and also rice is okay, right? Or
look, rice isn't...
Or pasta. What do you think about pasta? Come on, Italians, we like pasta.
I know.
I eat pasta a lot.
Well, the lentil pasta, if you're going to do a pasta, the lentil pasta is the best one to do.
Okay, that's what my kids eat.
If you're going to do a pasta, if anybody out there wants to do a pasta, do the lentil pasta. The red lentil pasta is even better to do. That's what I would do.
And the red lentils per se, that's also good.
Absolutely.
So what about food that are bloating us? Come on, that's a big thing out there. Everybody's complaining how they're being bloated to everything. When I get bloated, with my skinny, I look like I'm pregnant. I'm not pregnant.
Well,
it's the food.
I don't think you're really bloated. When people are bloated, they're like bloated, but no.
Not in the morning. Not after 32 ounces of celery. Honestly, not gonna happen.
But what happens is the reason why people are bloating because their liver's stagnant and sluggish. That's what happens. They get fatty liver.
But you blame the liver for everything.
I know.
So important, isn't it?
Everybody blames me for everything. I gotta blame something else for everything. Okay? Because I'm always getting all the secrets that people don't know out there, the truth out there, and they're all like, no. And
so the liver is the guilty one in the terms of bloating?
The liver's the guilty one right there.
Because we haven't supported it enough.
Yeah, because we just let it get dense and sick, and it gets congested with everything in there. We're not flushing it. We're not cleansing it. We're not doing the 369.
How long does it take to clean? Because I've been plant-based for the past 5 years, thanks to my son. Thank you, son. Because he
That's right.
inspired me.
That's
But
right. You got to tell that story. That's
true.
incredible.
Yeah, it's a good story. It's well, my son is my biggest inspiration in life, and I mean my son and daughter, but my son came first, and he kind of started a cycle. Basically, I was trying to be the healthiest I can be, and knowing that there is a little human being inside of me, I wanted to create this perfect environment for him. When we live in this sick world, we are bombed with all these, well, wrong messages of what's going to make us happier and better and healthier. And so when I started researching a lot on the what I can eat so that I can when I'm producing milk for my son, he gets the best out of it. And I've turned plant-based or vegan. Well, back then I was vegan, and I was very, very like hardcore on that. And
So cool.
that's what helped me understand. And what did I like? Why would he? What was the idea about? Why did I start talking about this? Now I lost my track.
Well, no, it's amazing.
It's the jet lag.
Well, yeah, you just flew from a whole another part of the world, and
To
you're on
see
1
you.
hour's sleep. But I'm glad you're here. But the thing is with everything is you're telling a story because you became plant based. That was the whole thing.
Okay, that was the plan.
Yeah.
The plant-based, and then the whole transition, like how like you are feeling better, you're
Yeah.
always feeling better, but when are you actually cleaned from all the stuff you ate for the past, I don't know, 28 years? That was in the case in my life, and then others who are healing.
Yeah. So
when
how
they-
long does it take? Is where
yeah,
you're
like,
saying.
when are we actually gonna feel the best? Like you've been doing that all your life. The reason why you have so much energy and focus on this particular mission that is so noble and so important, and please do recognize that, because what we're doing right now requires lots of energy. Like I'm shaking from the excitement, but he's been doing this every single day and writing books and sleeping 2 hours maybe in the night just to make sure that he refreshes, and he is able to look like this thanks to all the wonderful knowledge he gets from the source and the wonderful spirit that I'm connected to too. So
It's amazing.
yeah, what you're doing is just something that has connected with me in so many levels, and
You
I'm
get
so
me to cry right here, so I got I gotta hold it back.
but that's the side of you people have to see, because really the commitment you give for this, like I generally, you get sick from people telling you they're sick. Oh, I'm feeling her pain here and there, and I'm every day waking up with this and that. We all get sick from that, and he gets to listen it empathically and with so much attention and gives the solution to people. This is something that you don't get in the doctor's office. Unfortunately, you get a prescription which is just gonna delay another what
Well, it can delay.
something.
It could put sickness on hold a little bit, but it gets rooted deeper inside.
Yeah, but this is the information that actually gets you back on track and gives you the time for you to reset yourself and go back in the driving seat. And that's how I feel in my life.
Well, you feel like you have control.
Yeah, and that's I mean, I am addicted to control. I'm a mom. But
Moms need to have control. Bottom line.
I want my kids to be healthy and live in a healthy world, and all of a sudden there are these soldiers like yourself that are really fighting for that peaceful, wonderful planet, and I'm connected to that mission, and I'm speaking with so much love to all of the people who are following Anthony and every single one who connected today to hear, and just to remind you, there is a lot of things in the book that maybe you've just skimmed through. Go back to it, because I mean, I might have spent a few times reading each book, because it really matters. Like these are the fairy tales I speak to my kids now. There is a whole fairy tale about about the
liver and
the liver and all those like toxins and stuff trying to get in. It's like no, and my kids are liking those stories. I mean, I do make them funny, but some kids do cry from those stories. So it's an interesting journey. I love the idea of teaching my kids from early on, and not only my kids but all the kids that we touch through the foundation, how they can take care of themselves, how they can start this life and live it despite everything that is around us, because that's not what makes us unhealthy. It's our choices that we make. We have a choice every single day to choose the right thing to do for us and the planet. And that's what you've provided us. Like I haven't found this knowledge in many books, and I've read a lot of books on health. These are the books I come back to, and I will forever be grateful for what you're doing.
I'm honored. The information in the books is it's not out there. It only comes from this source. So it's not like it's repackaged. It's funny because the health books of today, and I'm not trying to say that they're not helpful. It's just that it's the same stuff, but it's repackaged for the next generation of basically people who start getting health minded whether they're in their 20s or whether they're in their 30s or when they're just starting to get health minded and they're getting excited and they get the books out there and they get the information out there and they read the articles and they don't know that information was the same information that was repackaged 10 years ago to the crowd before them and then 10 years ago to the crowd before them. Like for instance, you got the whole candida thing that happened for 30-40 years. Now they switched it to microbiome, but it's still the same package, but they rename it. And then the newer generation kind of comes up and they don't realize that the answers aren't in there yet. And if they get too sick, they'll find that the answers aren't really there. And that's what happens. It's like, so, it depends on how sick a person gets to realize. And I noticed that the older people who've been there, done that, they've seen all the tricks and games. They've seen the decades of tricks and games, and they realize things are repackaged. So when they find this information, and wait a minute, this was different than anything else that exists out there. The rest is repackaged, backed by money, put out there, and it's not getting people to that next level of where they need to go. That's what's
the
really
trends
interesting.
that we are being that are confusing us. Like for instance, the sunflower oil was good, and everybody swear to it. And then there was this just recent article. I feel like it was maybe half a year ago, where they published the information about the coconut oil being toxic, what is the word?
Carcinogenic?
Yes.
Okay.
And so, you're everybody's drinking coconut water, coconut oil, putting on their face or their food and frying stuff with it, and now all of a sudden that's wrong. And then you're like, where should I go to for all the information, and how do I,
It's in the books.
But it's true. And I'm actually, I remember texting you many times asking you how much fat is too much fat. Like, and can we actually live without the fat? Because it's in avocado, for instance, and we all love avocado on toast.
Everybody's been dying with the fat.
Mm-hmm.
We just decade after decade after decade, everybody's dying with the fat. So everybody's on fat. Just everybody's on it. Doesn't matter where you go. The vegans, I'm not. But but it's still good to have a little. You can have a little bit of healthy fats.
Well, I'm going your way.
You can have a little bit of avocado. You can have some coconut oil. If you're into fish, you can have some sardines. You can have some really good high quality fats. If you're into animal products, you go for the highest quality. But if you go for bacon or pork, you're into the bad fat now.
But let me tell you, I am a very strong advocate for plant-based, so I wouldn't.
Yeah, no, you're all plant-based. You're plant-based.
I'm not. I mean, you're so kind to speak about it in such way because you do know that people are enjoying meat. I love my meat.
But you're hardcore plant-based.
I'm like, because there is not many.
I respect that though, because I've seen plant-based diets literally take people out of the depths of hell with their health. Literally out of the worst and pull them out of it. I've seen it pull them out of it. Absolutely.
But then people are like saying, okay, now I'm feeling better, so I'm just going to go back to what it was before, right? So the plant-based diet is mainly to get you out of the, hole, and then you go back to your meats until you go back again in the hole, and then you go back to that. So they don't say it's a maintenance diet.
Yeah. But it is a maintenance diet.
It should be.
It is. No, you can be plant-based. Anybody out there plant-based? I mean,
raise your hand.
Yeah, raise your hand if you're plant-based.
Yeah, and stick to that.
Yeah, it's a powerful way to heal. Stick to it. If you're somebody that, hey, you don't want to do plant-based, you're on some other kick and everything, lower your fats. But I tell people plant-based, you got to lower your fats. That's the thing is I'm all about wherever you are with your diet, you got to bring your fats down because that's where you'll get in trouble every time.
So maybe you're not going to get your curves, because the magazines and popular places are actually promoting, it's all about curves, man. It's like we gotta up our games. We're like, both of us we have two chairs, but we could probably sit in one. And we do feel good. I mean, this is what we're talking about, actually feeling good rather than looking good. And I know there are so many people out there who want to feel good, and there are ways, and it's just
I could go into the gym. I could go in the gym 3 hours a day, start
Well,
building some muscle. Yeah. Maybe I should go in the gym, do 3 hours a day, start building muscle. Maybe I'll go and get some massages every day. Maybe I'll go and do yoga for 2 hours a day, and I won't be able to help anybody because I'll be too busy taking care of myself. But in doing all that, so forget writing the books. The writing the books isn't going to happen anymore.
That's never going to happen. This guy sleeps 2 hours a day so he can provide all the knowledge to us. So I'm sorry.
No, because I've had people say, "Hey, look, medical medium. I thought you'd be built. I thought you would have big guns,
ripped.
I thought you'd be ripped." And it'd be like, "You want me to go that route? You want me to dedicate half my life into getting ripped? I can then I'll put off all the work. Forget finishing these books. Forget doing what I got to do."
Look, as a mom of two, I can totally understand when you say you don't have time for that, because also every mom out there, I'm sure you're struggling to find your time for.
Yeah, it's hard to find time for self-care. It's really difficult for everybody. And then, but there's people that they make that their life. They make it their life. You know, you see people who are built. It's because they made that their life. You know, and that's what they're doing. But I can't make that my life. I can't be putting on iron, doing that. I got to just, stay toned. I got to stay healthy, Sure, just ride my bike.
Well, where did I read? You're like 28-year-old, remember?
I'm 28. I'm 28, yeah.
I mean, I was...
Been doing this for 35 years and I'm 28. No, it's true. They say I'm 28. Because I think
how can you look so old when you're 28?
I think it's out there on the internet that I'm 28.
Yeah, I remember that I asked you that. I'm like, how do you stay so young? And then it's like, what is it was just so confusing. Obviously there are lots of lies out there, and there are people who are trying to discredit people doing good stuff, and I feel, for me, the thing that connects me is this soul feeling, like this inside of me feeling. Like I don't connect to many things out there like that, but I did to you. And through your books, because you're a spoken word. I mean, those 2-hour sleep nights are like really paying off. I mean, they touched me, and people who are following me, and who are not only me but my family, they're gonna also be connected to that, I'm sure. And for every single person in this world, if you connect to something, just stay true to it. Like I connected so much with you. I'm so grateful to be today here, and also with your community. I'm sure most of you feel this way, and you should be here with me, also cheering him on the way you do also on the social networks, because we can see your progress.
Everybody's
you're
working
healing.
Hard. They're all working so hard. They are. It's amazing. I mean, the support. They're supporting other people. They're telling other people. The work that you guys are doing out there is mind blowing. I talk about that all the time. When I wake up in the morning, first thing I say is, what can I do for everybody? What can I? Because look what they're doing. And
I just can't even imagine what kind of pain and fears you're going through, because all the stuff that is helping you heal, that he's sharing. Like, I've been seeing girls and men like with the worst psoriasis and eczema and problems and acne, and I've never had to go through that, but to connect through his empathic eyes and through his empathic platform that is providing all of you with such resources to heal, and then see you heal as well, and have your clapping and like blessings. It's like that there's not many places in the world where you can get such an encouragement.
Well, when you're kicked down like so many people are, and you guys know people, family members and stuff, and they're at 10 different doctors' offices, they're going to neurologists, they got all the different symptoms and everything, and they're just struggling in every way, and their thyroid problems, and they get different diagnoses, their skin's, having problems, or they get the fatigue, that neurological fatigue that I talk about in all the books and everything, where it's just your nervous system is so weak that you can't function, your legs feel like bags of cement, and then you need answers. You need answers. It's critical. I mean, you have to get answers.
But we wish it's easier than what you were saying. I really know from people, like, it would be easier. Like, you don't have to change so many habits you have. Like, all of the stuff we've been told from the early, years on, because our parents didn't know either, and our grandparents didn't know. None of us knew what we were doing. And now when you come here and you're like, yeah, let's change this and let's change that, and you're like, oh, but it's easier with that pill, I'm just gonna take the pill. And that's where we are getting into this you know, but stay strong. That's why the communities are important. That's why this in particular is so important. You're doing and you're making an effort to connect with them and encourage them.
And there's no ads. There's no ads before this episode.
Well,
you know,
I'm dead. I'm dead right now without the ads. I really need to.
There's no ads. There's no. This is a free channel. You have to sit there waiting for 20 ads to come. And
look, I only have the celery juice and the lemon balm tea in front of me. He didn't provide me with any kind of cool stuff.
No.
You know, so...
No, it's hardcore. It's rough. We're roughing it out.
I've got the best greeting ever from Anthony, and he really prepared a wonderful table with lots of good food, and I made a photo of it, so I'll share it with you so that you can see how you can actually treat yourself for the lunch or dinner. Good ideas, I mean, comes straight from the source.
Well, it's great to be here. So you guys, I want you to keep on taking care of yourself, okay?
Did you want to take any questions
Jelena
or
Djokovic
anything?
right here. No, I think we're going to be wrapping this up. We're good. I mean,
well, I can see people are actually, I want to wrap it up too, but I just wanted to say that people are really sending you some love out there, huh?
Incredible.
Well done, and thank you for doing this, honestly. Really, it's important for us. It changed my life. It changed my kids' life. It's going to change their, kids' life.
Elena's happy to be here, but I'm telling you to have her here because you guys, I mean, she really is a powerful voice, like working for you guys, and that's the whole thing. And what happens is it's the people that actually they understand the other people that are struggling out there. They know their struggles, they understand what they're going through, and they care and they have compassion. She has compassion. She has compassion for what you've been through.
You.
Oh my God, you got way more than me. And then it's that matters in this world because I mean, how many times that when people are sick that no one's supporting them, like they start losing their friends. They start losing, friendships, and they get told that it's all in their head. They get told that it's because they're lazy. They get told, and their whole life becomes going to their doctor's appointments, and they really do struggle like so many of you do, and I know that, and I want to change that. We want to stop that. Like Jelena and I want to change that in the world, and she's always working on that, and I'm working on that, and I know you guys are working on that too. But the whole point is that we get it. We got your back, and
he got our back, and I'm supporting him. So,
and I need that support. I need it. Anything I can get.
We need you.
We got a power source here. I love you guys.
Thank you for joining us, and hello to my country and to my husband out there. I know he's listening.
Yeah,
my
Novak. He's out there.
Novak is in London now, so. Let's cheer him on.
Absolutely.
And much love to everyone. Really, so many hearts. You're getting so much love here.
It's crazy. I mean, it's unbelievable.
That's what you deserve.
But that's how I feel about all of them, though.
Good.
That's the whole point. And I do.
Okay.
This has been an awesome time. I can't believe it. I'm just blown away. Thank you for coming on. And thank you for being here.
Thank you.
All right. And I'm going to click this off because we're right here. This is just like this. Here we are.